the big thing I've been watching recently is a Disney Plus series called Dopesick. Have you seen that one pop up there?
I have seen it pop up, yeah, but the title kind of put me off.
Okay. Why do you say that?
Just doesn't sound something pleasant.
Yeah, it's not exactly a pleasant story. It's all about the opioid crisis in the US between like the mid and early 2000s, and then the subsequent investigation into the pharmacy company Purdue Pharma, who produced the OxyContin tablets.
Yeah.
And so yeah, it stars Michael Keaton in the lead role as a doctor in Montana, I think it is, or Wisconsin, or like one of those weird like mining rural areas. Peter Skarsgard's in there as well. Will Poulter plays a drug salesman, and then Rosario Dawson plays the lead investigator in the series. And yeah, it just goes into how OxyContin was manufactured, how it was marketed, and then obviously the massive downsides of that particular tablet, where it was marketed as being non-addictive, and because it had this slow release mechanism, which was basically just like a sugary coating around it that meant it took ages for it to slowly dissolve and work its way into your system. But then people that were taking it realized that if I just either crush the tablet and snort it, or even easier, just suck on it in my mouth for a couple of minutes before I swallow it, you get an instant hit. So then because of that, it just became super addictive. They saw numbers rising from non-medical use of OxyContin in 1999 was 400,000 people reporting that. By 2002, that number had risen to 1.9 million people.
Wow.
And then by 2003, it had gone to 2.8 million. So it was just like an exponential explosion of people abusing this drug. And then the pharmacy company also like did some really shady things as well. They initially started with a 4 milligram tablet and then realized, okay, that's not enough. People are like taking 2 or 3 a day, so we'll put out an 8 milligram tablet, and then a 16, and then they just kept going and going and increasing the dosages to all the way up to 120 milligram tablets. They even had to like change the shape when they got to 120, because it was a round tablet which could fit 10 or 4, 8, 16, 20 on the tablet. But then when it got to 120, that was too big a number to put on a round tablet, so they had to make it oval shaped.
Wow.
Um,
That's scary. It'd be scary to see the numbers even still after that. Like, what was the last one? 2000. I reckon it's still going up.
Yeah, I think now that they've made it a little bit harder to get, it's probably curbed it a little bit, but it's still crazy high, I think.
Yeah,
Because it is
that's a
like
lot of the time
an
you hear
over-the-counter
about.
medication.
Yeah, it's like a lot of the time you hear about famous people when they OD, like Mac Miller. Was it Heath Ledger was similar? He was on the opioids.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of people. I've heard some people call it hillbilly heroin before, because it's basically heroin in a tablet.
Yep. Yeah, pretty much. And then some of the other things they used were the evidence they used to get this special label from the FDA to say that it wasn't addictive. Their evidence was a letter to the editor of a medical journal, basically say, in the letter that they found after years of trying to find it, looking at actual research papers and everything, they finally found this letter, and it was basically just a doctor saying, in my experience in hospitals under strict supervision, less than 1% of people become addicted to opioids. And they used that little snippet as their evidence to get this special label.
And that was all it took.
Pretty much. Because they just said, this doctor said this in this medical journal, and nobody bothered to look it up and go, hang on, this is a letter to the editor under very specific circumstances.
That's like when you read the back of the Gatorade bottle and it's like the best drink for sports recovery and studied by the Gatorade Institute.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and like all the cigarette manufacturers and sugar and all of those things. What else did they find? Oh, they got a doctor who basically spruiked this theory of pseudo addiction, which he claimed was anybody that displays addictive behavior to opioids it's just evidence that they have undertreated pain, so they need more tablets.
Oh.
So they used him to do that and hired him on the board of Purdue Pharma, and just he was their evidence to, hey, we need to make a 120 milligram tablet. We need to do this. We need to just sell more. Yeah, just a crazy show. Really well performed by Michael Keaton, who's like a doctor who is very hesitant to prescribe the drug in the first place, and then sees it help one patient, so he starts prescribing it a bit more, and then gets to the point where he's in a car accident, so he starts taking it, and then he becomes addicted and just spirals out of control from there. And yeah, a heavy topic, a heavy show to watch, but one of those ones where as soon as it drops on Wednesday nights on Disney, I'm straight there to watch it.
How funny that a show like that is now on Disney Plus. Like, it shows how much they've pivoted their streaming service from where it started.
Yeah, well, yeah, it started as just like Disney movies, Marvel and Star Wars, and now as soon as they purchased Fox and added that Star section, they just have all of these weird shows now. Like, they've got Big Sky, the show I was watching last year, is coming back soon, so lots of full-on shows on that service now.
Yeah, parental controls on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you've got kids, make sure they're on.